Alright guys, so knuckle press-ups we just did, I did those extra ones. It was just a test, as I said on my video, IBMA stress test. See where we're at progress-wise. Very happy with the results, to be frank. You know how it's coming along. I've never successfully done a full rep like that straight onto the wood floor without some. I did it not that long ago. And it was pretty good, but it was a little bit of that like softer, not bruising, but a slight soreness on these smaller knuckles. Not anymore, so that's pretty awesome. Because obviously this side was just standard as well, so no damage or anything there. Pretty happy about that. With regards to the bag, as I said, this is the worst setup you could come across. So you know, I can't hang anything. I can barely swing a cat in this little back patio thing out here. So I'm literally just got my bag here, nice and dense. It's not so soft actually, and I flip it round often so you get that real nice dense part. And as I said, it's not about footwork, and I'm actually hitting downwards like this at an angle. So it's just about trying to lower my stance and just condition my knuckles. That's it. Nothing flashy. Just let's see how we're doing on the conditioning, and just do a bit of training, slap a bit of music on or whatever. Just do some training. I'll try and do this more frequently now. You know, I need to do it more frequently. You know how it is with lockdown. I don't know about you guys, but we're only coming out in September, and I've been on like a lockdown since March, so it's just kind of staying sane. And you know how it is, sometimes you just can't find that same will to. But the only thing I have found the will to keep doing regularly is the MMA Bone Conditioning, IBMA conditioning, which is awesome. As I said, the other stuff like the you know, the bodybuilding side or whatever, like strengthening, that's dropped off a little bit, to be frank. And meals, I said, once a day now, all that kind of stuff. So just focusing on this so that when we come out, we'll have that conditioning ready to go, and we can build up the cardio and the strength, no issue. But at least we've got that nice conditioning going. So let's hammer the shit out of this thing and slap some music on, and just, as I said, don't be too brutal, guys, because this is not ideal. The main thing is I'm hitting this with full force, and I'm not holding back on anything, which I could never do when I started this. So it's all just about, like Brett says, and I think it's a really awesome thing, is it's all about, like he says, it's all about just being better than yesterday. You know what I mean? So I'm following the IBMA thinking pattern there, and just improving, like those press-ups I did earlier. Definite improvement. So just keep smashing this, and most people are not even watching the video anymore. I haven't even hit the thing yet. But anyway, I'm going to pause this for a second and give this a good smashing. Here we go. Around. Just trying to pump that jab out. Bare knuckle straight on that. This is nice and dense, this bag. That's a little bit softer than on there. That's the only time I get a little bit of a buckling, just sometimes a tiny little bit. As most people can attest to, you get really good at hitting the hard stuff, and then you start to hit the softer stuff, and sometimes you get like a little bit of like buckling, like a little bit of resistance. I find the hooks are the really difficult thing. It took me a good while to practice those, and those are what tear your knuckles up, to be honest. Let's continue. Flip that baby around. Keep it flipped. I suppose that gives you the gist of it, I suppose. So normally I hit this for like, depends, but it can be like 40 minutes or 40 minutes plus or something like that. But it's difficult because the bag is so low, so. But I said nothing fancy. I've just been doing this regularly. And it's become easier and easier. I remember back in the day, I could barely hit something like this bare knuckle for barely a moment. Let's give this some tasty hooks. Nice liver shots. Sometimes I'll just stand like this just to, not to practice the technique, but just to deliver the hooks, because that's always the hardest one. See, sometimes it gets me in that little soft bit every now and again, a little bit. It's so soft. I suppose you guys are probably bored of this, but I wanted to give IBMA an update and stuff like that on this. That's where we're at. See, this is nice and dense here, so. But yeah, I'm hitting this bag as hard as I can. And I couldn't dream of doing that back in the day. Sometimes what I'll do is just flip the bag around here. It's a little bit soft, but just flip it there and just give it some smashes. Some uppercuts. Tape's kind of breaking off eventually, you know. I'm not very good at doing these left hooks or like liver shots, but sometimes I just stand like this just to practice the conditioning of dealing those kind of liver shots. But I said the beauty of this, I tell you what, I couldn't dream of doing this before. I tell you, So yeah, pretty much just rinse and repeat that. And then we'll get into some shin conditioning another day. We can have a chat with IBMA about that. That'll be interesting. Whew. Just put this earplug back in. But now the skin's tearing now, because I did this all yesterday as well. So we'll do a little bit more and then I'll stop the video. We do a little bit more. Also, another thing I learned from IBMA for the bare knuckle striking is to slightly kind of angle your wrists just slightly, your knuckles like so, like that, you know. That's something else he taught me. And I tested it in the MMA gym, and I was initially, I'll be honest, I was initially skeptical. Well, not skeptical, but I'm just that kind of character that I like to question stuff and just research it and analyze it. So I listened to what Brett at IBMA had to say. I did some hits. I built up some bare knuckle conditioning, and then I twisted the knuckles a little bit. And then I noticed an improvement. So what I'll do is I'll just take this tape off and we'll just give it a final little hit. Just for fun. Let me just pause this. Yeah, so there we go, man. It had some good usage. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a hit with nothing. I got to admit, as much as you do tear some stuff, nothing beats the real McCoy having not one thing on your knuckles. And I think the struggle is finding some middle ground where you can still train it without tearing, which I think is either that thin tape or this little kind of sock thing we talked about, and maybe show you guys. But yeah, so just give it a smash bare knuckle. Yeah, that's a terror, that one. And I think you guys get the gist of it now, I guess. Just hit the shit out of this thing for ages. I wish I had it at hanging height, to be honest. It would be so much better, you know? Just hit some hooks on that. And there you have it, man. Happy days. Good stuff.